One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back. '23 has finally landed, and with that, the family has left. The house is probably, still dirty from New Year's or whatever, but that's fine. And you don't feel like cooking, and you know what's better than not having to cook yourself? Having somebody cook your food for you. And what's even better than having somebody cook your food for you is having Grateful Dead family and Fish family cook your food for you.
Yeah.
So you should go over to Fire on the Mountain. They got 3 locations here in Portland, 2 locations in Denver, and it is the Grateful Dead and Fish family cooking up the best wings and pizzas and tots and onion rings on the planet.
Yep, and the PDX locations have launched their specials for January. You need to go over and check those out for yourself.
New Year, new
And
specials.
then the Denver location, they have a live music pop-up coming up on 1/11 at 5 p.m. with Mimi Naja of Fruition. So go over to FOTM Denver on Instagram or PDX or FOTM PDX on Instagram to check out the specials for all the locations in Portland.
And if you are interested, they are hiring. Go over to the, Instagram, and on their home banner, they have a website you can click on and go check them out.
Yeah, you could even start the new year, new you, with a new gig at
New
Fire on the
job.
Mountain, working
Yeah.
for some dope-ass people that make the best food in Denver and Portland. Go to portlandwings.com. You can hook yourself up with some of their cool swag or some of their sauces if you don't live in one of those places. And if you do live in one of those places, go get fed by the family, man. Fire on the Mountain. Yeah, it's that time of year when it's, the holidays are over, and I think they call it the doldrums is this time of year because there's like no
The
holidays.
doldrums?
Yeah, they do. It's
Okay.
because they're like, there's no holidays in this time of the year. And you know what you could do? You could do retail therapy this time of the year to make yourself feel a little better. If you
Thought
didn't,
we all just did retail therapy.
if you didn't get what you wanted for Christmas, you can go to shoptourbus.com and check out what they've got going on. At shoptourbus.com, they have the entire set list for 2022 of all the tees and designs they put out for 2022.
Which I love. The set list for 2022 is A Friend of the Devil, Music Never Stop, Crazy Fingers, Scarlet Begonias, I Need a Miracle, Addicts of My Life, Not Fade Away, and now the pre-order for 2023 is Jack Straw with 2 variants.
Oh, shit.
And they even say, whoo.
That is a lot of work, man. All the boxes are all over printed or hand designed and one of a kind, and they are professionally and wonderfully and lovingly packaged by the Shop Tour Bus team over there. And there's all kinds of extras and fun stuff in there. If you've never ordered from Shop Tour Bus,
you really need to
do
start.
it. Trust me, there's a reason they're our longest sponsor. Go over there, and they're hooking up the No Simple Road family with free shipping. So put in the promo code No Simple Road, all one word, and you're going to get free shipping from our family over at Shop Tour Bus. Now's the time to make yourself feel a little better with a fresh tee or a nice hoodie, and you're going to get it over there at shoptourbus.com.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out.
Here we are.
The first No Simple Road weekly rewind of 2023. And this is Aaron.
This is Mel.
And this is Apple.
And it is a brand new year. It's a brand new us. And here we are.
Brand new us.
Brand newing it for all of you. You know,
Whoop-de-whoop.
It's last year was quite the wild Mr. Toad's wild ride.
Yeah.
I must say. And
I think it was a beautiful year.
I do too.
It was.
It was a lot.
We got to really return to live music. This year was like unfettered with bullcrap.
We sure
That's
did.
True, man.
Yeah, we got to do Peach Festival for the first time.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going back to Peach. We got to do Skull and Roses again finally,
Sure did.
And we're going back to Skull and Roses. And,
Got to do the last summit.
Yeah,
that's still a little bittersweet in my book. Like,
I think it'll always be bittersweet. Like
You think?
was. How can you look at on such a beautiful time? Those two times that we went to String Summit 2019, and then this last year 2022. That was epic.
Yeah, full of magic.
Yes.
yeah, but something really magical happened at the end of 2022. I got a email from a publicist about a chef, Justin Cucci from The Edible Beat.
Weren't we talking about branching out at that time?
We were talking about like having comedians and authors and all that kind of stuff on the show more often. And I asked Mel, I was like, should we have him on the show? Because it he was a deadhead, and it seemed like it made sense. And Mel was like, hell yeah. Apple was like, hell yeah, let's do it. And it was a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Serendipitous meeting. When we hung up the phone, I felt like we had known each other for a long time. And I felt like we needed to be working together in some capacity. And I was like, how does a podcast and a restaurateur go into business together? Like, how do you partner with somebody like that? And I reached out to them and just to see, like, you know, how could we do something together? And initially I asked them if they wanted to be sponsors of No Simple Road.
Well, we had a talk, and you had asked, you know, like, you know what, let's think about new sponsors. And we had just had that conversation with them. And I was like, why don't we ask Justin? And you kind of gave me that side face like, huh? And I was like, well, we love what he's doing. We love what he's doing as a person. Like, I am a cheerleader of like his ESOP. I'm a cheerleader of his innovation with old historic places. Like, and it just seemed like, why wouldn't No Simple Road, if we have the opportunity, ask to do something with somebody so incredible?
And it's a perfect fit with the Grateful Dead community and what we do. It's all about being kind and being family and treating people right.
And what'd you say, babe, after I said that?
I said, I'll reach out to him immediately. I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. We should reach out to him and see. And, you know, that they're busy people, you know, that he's running all those restaurants and doing so much all the time. And they actually got back to us right away. And after some conversation with Justin and his people, we've entered into a partnership together, a collaboration.
Yeah,
is what I would call this. They're not sponsoring the show. We are collaborating together. And what that collaboration entails is bringing you connection and bringing you conversations that matter, the same way that Edible Beats would bring you food in order to connect you as human beings around the table, so that, you know, when you sit down to a meal with somebody, all the differences are gone and you're just there enjoying something beautiful together.
And in addition to that, when they bring you the food, it's not just the food. You can be happy and feel good that it was sourced properly. And like, even in the interview with him, he's at the end of that, he was talking about even reaching higher and producing food in a nearby area where they can like sustain most of their restaurants, like vegetables and things like that. And like, from the ground, from the reservation to the meal to everything that you like, everything that they're doing is so intentional, and I am so proud to be a part of that.
So as a result of all of that, the No Simple Road weekly rewinds are now done in collaboration with the Edible Beat, and we are bringing you conversation that is necessary and that means something between the three of us. The same way that Edible Beat would bring you a meal, we're bringing you conversation. And the feeling that I had at the end of the talk that we had with Justin was different than any other conversation that we had ever had. And I immediately ordered he has a cookbook, and I ordered the cookbook, and at the back page, I'm going to read you guys the back page of the cookbook. And it was really strange to me. I read this, what I'm about to read you, and I started crying when I read this, because this is how I felt when we finished our conversation. So here it is. Okay. Wow. That was exciting. It was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed it too. It was great, like, getting to know you, and I felt there was a connection, and I'm feeling all these emotions, and I'd really love to see you again. It kind of just depends on how you're feeling, but like, you haven't really said much. I don't do this a lot. Like, to be perfectly honest, this was my first time. I was really nervous, and I wasn't really sure what you wanted, but you did. Like, did you? Okay, good. I just wanted it to feel good for you too. It's been a really long time since I've put myself out there, you know, and maybe it sounds crazy sometimes, but I was just trying to make you laugh a little and maybe challenge some things you thought before we connected. I just really wanted to tell you a couple of stories and turn you onto some killer food and take you around the neighborhood to look at some design. I know, it sounds a little cliche Woody Allen movie. Anyway, if you want to connect again, I think we have a good thing here, and maybe we just take it slow and see what happens. No, I know, not exclusively, but let's just explore each other a little more, see how things develop this spring. Okay? I'll let you go. I just genuinely wanted to thank you. I know you're really busy and you probably could have hung out with anybody, so it's flattering you hooked up with me for real. So you have my number. And I read that.
Love it.
I read that and I was like, holy shit. That is exactly how I felt when we hung up the phone or hung up the Zoom call with Justin.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think we were all smitten with the conversation. Like, it was very, when I listened back to it, I felt so lucky because I got to re-feel how I felt about it.
mm-hmm.
And it was a good feeling. It's like winning the lottery, or like, somebody picked up your kid for you so you don't got to do it, or like something that was a boon for you, something that was lucky for you, and to have this, like, even further, to be able to have this work relationship with him, it's very special to me. And I took it really serious too when we were kind of in the background talking about, like, what should we do? Should it be a segment? Should it be its own episode? Should we, like, what should we talk about? Like, the thing that gets me is, like, that you just said, is like the one conversations that we need to have, like hard conversations, even the easy ones that we need to be said, like
something silly that we talk about on the weekly rewind. So, and for us, we've been doing, this is our 12th week of doing the weekly rewind. We skipped last week. You have our apologies. It was New Year's. You get why. Anyway, this has become therapy for the three of us. Not that No Simple Road hasn't always been that, but it has become more and more evident since we started doing the weekly rewind that this is the meat and potatoes of No Simple Road, of how it started, how it grew, and how it's going to continue to grow. And meeting people that help you elevate your game is... I can't put enough emphasis on that. Easily I could have approached the Edible Beat and been like, hey, do you want to sponsor No Simple Road? And they say yes. And I say, okay, it's this much a month. And then we do commercials. But Justin, being a creative human being and somebody that thinks outside the box, came to us with something different where he wants to collaborate with us. And that made us up our game.
Yes.
Yeah. It made us think differently.
Yep. And go ahead.
As I said, that's one thing I want to say about Justin. First of all, we really encourage you to go listen to episode 289 that was released on November 11th to hear this conversation. But I know all three of us, after this conversation, he is one of those people that makes you really appreciate life and how to, the way he approached us, his business, people, his employees. At one point in the conversation, I pointed out he had like a whiteboard behind him with all kinds of stuff on it. It reminded me of the movie Beautiful Mind. And I even said that to, I was like, you have a beautiful mind. And he truly does. He truly encourages you to look at life differently and approach life differently.
Not even on purpose either. He's not even trying to do that. He's talking about just how his mind works, thinking about different things. And, it just by hearing him talk, it really stimulates not necessarily what you're doing, but like, wow, how could I be better? It turns something on inside of you.
Yeah. And, to be able to elevate the people that you come into contact with and change the way that they think about something has been part of my life. Like, ever since I went to my first Grateful Dead show, that changed my life and changed the way that I thought about everything since then, and infused everything that I did henceforth from that day. And, we've gotten a lot of feedback from listeners about No Simple Road, how it's helped them, how it's gotten them through tough times, or how it's carried them through fun times and been with them through whatever and this and that. And that is the meat and potatoes, like the underlying
the nutrition of No Simple Road.
Of what this is. And to be doing that in collaboration with somebody that is of that caliber is a huge honor.
Absolutely.
And second, I'm excited for what that's going to bring us in the future of doing the weekly rewind in collaboration with them, and like seeing where it goes from here, because this is brand new. We're just talking about it now and letting you all know what's going on. But like, we don't even know what's going to happen yet.
We do know that we want to go to Ophelia's and podcast from there.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something that that also happened with Justin, just like, again, establishing those relationships. And whatever we talk about, hey, what if it sparks something in you? Some kind of interest, some kind of thought, idea, some kind of new way to process something. That's all we could ask for.
Yeah.
And I would say also in the conversation, he helped me, and I think us. He's one of those people that makes you believe anything is possible.
Oh, yeah.
When he talks about like putting a motorhome on the roof of a building and things that he pulled, like I want this to happen, and makes it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we move forward in 2023 and you turn on the weekly rewinds every Monday, you just know that we're doing this in collaboration with the Edible Beat and the wonderful people over there. I remember like listening to NPR, and they're like, this NPR segment is done in collaboration with blah, bleedy blue and bleedy blah and whatever. And I was like, that's how we need to approach this thing with them. So yeah, that's what's going on over here, at least this little corner of the No Simple Road universe. But let's switch gears. And how's everybody doing this first week of the new year?
Doing good.
All right, cool. Yeah. Show's over. Let's go.
It's hot. Oh,
well, January 1st was my favorite first day of the year.
Why?
Because you and me and Apple had the funnest, silliest, best day that I could have ever created, ever. Like, if I would have thought about it in my head, I'm like, yes, that's what I want to do. And we did it, but I didn't plan it.
What did we do?
We hung out and we kept the music going, and we cleaned the house, and we relaxed, and I made us a salad, and like we chuckled together. Like, and Apple didn't go to his room; he hung out outside with us, and like we still had candles on, and it just felt. I mean, we woke up at noon, or like it was like later than noon. I was gonna say it was closer to 1, and waking up realizing that we did not have any responsibility to nothing. No kid, no job, no deadline, no interview, no nothing. It was just our free time. It did something for me. Like it made me feel really accomplished. It made me feel like
a job well done, and you earned a break.
Yeah. And it felt like this is exactly how we should be in our new year. Like it felt like this was like a foreshadowing of what the new year was going to be like.
And we did it, like rode out from because on New Year's Eve we went to the Aladdin Theater here in Portland to go see Polyrhythmics, and we got home like about 1:30 or so, and we had a bunch of friends over, and I called it quits. It was 5 a.m.
Oh, Cecil was way after
you two were still laying on the couch with our friend Ben and Tiff were laying in my lazy boy cuddling, and I was still up dancing around and was like, it's 5 a.m. We need to go to sleep. And that's rare. Even if we go to sleep really, really late, we don't sleep in much around here.
No.
We all slept there. I remember getting up to go to the restroom, and it was like 12:45. There was not a peep in the house, even Ryder. Ryder went with us that night to celebrate. It was so quiet. I heard nothing. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go lay back down. And then like about 20 minutes later, I started to hear rustling. And I was like, okay, it's time to get up. And then like Mel said, we just spent the entire day enjoying ourselves, music playing, we didn't have much to do. Our biggest task of the day was deciding what we wanted to eat.
No, I had to go get my car.
Oh, and clearing. We had clearing the altar, getting Aaron's car, and ordering food.
Yeah, and then like Melissa threw together a salad, and she's like, "This is either going to be the best salad ever, or like hangover salad." And it was amazing.
It was a bomb salad, but
wait. Let me just say something. During the making of that salad, I realized that I usually would always call out to Aaron or Apple and be like, "Hey, do you want blah, blah, blah on your salad?" And I didn't do that. I just said, I'm making it like if I would eat 3 salads.
It was so good.
This is how I would have it. And I made each salad exactly how I would feed myself. So that's what you guys got.
It was bomb. It had oranges in it.
From now on, I implicitly trust you with
making
me a
salad responsibility.
Yep, you go for it. Whatever you want to do.
Well, because sometimes it's like, oh, do you want cheese? Okay. You want this and dress? Okay, I don't want that. But like, I was like, I'm not giving anyone choices. We're all eating the same thing.
Well, there's waking up at 12:45 is very rare around here. I remember I slowly cracked one sweaty eyeball open and looked at the ceiling and was like, holy shit, it's 12:45 in the afternoon. What just happened? So there's 2 MVPs of New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. MVP number 1 of New Year's Eve is Connor.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Connor,
we can just stop right there. MVP,
and we'll explain that in a minute. MVP number 2 is the alarm clock coffee maker that you all got me for Christmas, because in that sweaty, weird, vibrating stupor at 12:45 in the morning, all I had to do was reach over
and in the afternoon.
Is pluck that button on the coffee maker, and within 4 minutes, I had a hot cup of coffee with cream and sugar on the side of my bed waiting for me to help me get to the kitchen to make more coffee. It was the baddest, coolest thing ever on the planet. I have never been so grateful for a gift in my whole life as that moment right there. And I knew when I got the coffee maker for Christmas that was going to be the moment that the rubber met the road for that gift. I knew it, because those mornings are rough. And that being right there was fabulous. Now, let's go back to Connor for a minute.
Dang.
Well, Connor has come into our life, and
he flew in like a little butterfly is what I'm going to say.
When we showed up to Polyrhythmics on Saturday night, we walk in, we see Connor.
He's holding
Connor's
down the back
already
row
holding
for us.
like a back row for us. And then at the end of the night, he was our we had a fun experience. We rode the train up here to get to the venue.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, after a night of partying and dancing our butts off,
we were gonna walk back to that train station.
We were gonna walk to the train station or get a very expensive Uber, probably at 2 a.m. And he was like, "Well." I
asked him. I was like,
Mel asked him.
"Can you give us a ride home?" And
he kind of looked. He looked at all the 4 of us. Was like, "I have a Honda Corolla. I think
Toyota Corolla
or Toyota Corolla. Yeah, I got it." And he's like, "I think we could fit us all." And it was the funnest ride.
And it fit
home.
safe.
He not only did he come to our rescue, gave us a dope ass ride home. He played the perfect music.
Oh my gosh!
In the car,
on a sound system that his dashboard looks like a spaceship.
It looked like he was about to do a DJ set. Like that's all those buttons.
Welcome to Connor's car.
It was probably the best way we could have ever
us
gotten
3
home.
lunatics in that car did not shut up the whole way home. That poor guy was just getting lambasted with comments and
Connor,
silliness.
I think you loved every second of it. I don't think that it's what Aaron is saying. I think you had fun. We all had fun.
I was going to say, we know he loved it because he came and hung out a while with us and everything.
You hung in there. You had some tea.
He wins MVP of New Year's Eve, and he also wins best comment of the night.
Oh.
Yes.
Best comment of the night. As we're driving home, he goes, this better make it into the next episode. Well,
we're excited to talk about it, Connor, because you came through, man, and that means so much to us. Like, literally outside, got the most stylish one out there to give us a little quick hike to his car because it was parked in a safe place, and like it was just it's one of the best memories I'm going to have coming into 2023.
You know, for those of you that don't know, like, we actually just met Connor at Goose in Pioneer Square officially. He was
that was back in September.
Yeah, he's a Chandanator and a listener of the show, and he came up and introduced himself at Goose, and you know, that is to me and partied with us all night, danced with us, and that's one of the coolest parts of doing that is the coolest part of doing No Simple Road, is meeting people like that and finding other like-minded people to come into your circle and be friends with.
Yeah, well, and like establishing a relationship,
Yeah.
like, you know, meeting at the shows, which is great. Oh, I'll see you at this show. I'll see you at that show. Like, he came to Polyrhythmics.
He came to our cookie party.
Yeah, he came to the cookie party, and you know, I think that doing this for 5 years, we have and had some very special people in our life, and some come and go and some stay, and I'm grateful for both. You know, sometimes, you know, it's a temporary situation and sometimes it stays, and I'm really grateful for the people that cross our path and show us love and appreciation, and like, you know, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for the attention and the love and the that we feel and that we get from all of our listeners and our No Simple Road fam.
Oh yeah,
definitely. It's go ahead, Apple.
Oh, it's when Mel was stuck on the word, I was going to say for the friendship is the word I was going to throw out there. The many friendships that we've cultivated, and like you said, some come and go. People move, things happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you never know.
Everybody, I mean, pretty much since we've been up here in the Pacific Northwest, everybody that's come through our lives, whether they've stayed or not, has made an indelible mark on us and No Simple Road, and brought us to where we're at right now.
Yeah. And I think that one of the things that I want to see happen for No Simple Road is more quality people like that coming into our world. Like, that's a solid homeboy right there. Like, he saw us at our funkiest. He really did.
Yeah.
He saw us with our freak flags completely unfurled that night.
Yeah.
And just chilled and hung out and was into it.
I mean, not for nothing, our room was super cozy. We had it going on. It was a beautiful atmosphere. It was lit perfectly.
We can be a little odd.
It's
though.
lit.
Candles going on.
Yeah, like I said, this
cute.
group can be a little weird. You know, it's okay though. We're not dangerous.
Well, like Connor said, he can be a little weird too. I love that he made it out that night. He said he was on the fence, but he so wanted to hang out with us. He wasn't feeling great. So he came and, you know, didn't really party or anything. He just wanted to hang out with us. And I love that you did that, Connor, that you pushed yourself, because we've all been there where it's like coming up to show, you haven't been feeling good. It's so easy to just stay home.
Absolutely.
And you came
especially
out,
on New Year's.
you held down the back row for us. You gave us a ride
was
home.
So sweet.
You got us home safe and sound. And it was just so awesome to hang out with you that night.
Yep. You got 5 stars on the Uber app for sure.
Oh, yes.
And a tip. So
I want to go back a second to one thing. I really want to shout out and thank Polyrhythmics again for putting on such a show that night. And also, we cannot forget to mention they had a special guest,
Adrian De
Leon from the band Oregon from Los Angeles, California. She came out, and this woman blew our doors off.
Man,
she had such a presence. I remember looking at Ben. Me and Ben were both like this is like Tina Turner at the height of her career.
Yep.
The energy she brought, her voice, her vocal range that she could hit. I mean, What a New
oldies that
Year's
she
party.
sang. That to me.
The sing-alongs.
Oh my gosh. When you start putting that kind of music out, that 70s disco music, and then she had that outfit, that killer
Silver
like
outfit.
silver fringe, like old lampshade outfit that was like so sexy but also fun to look at. And every time she moved, she had all this movement with her, that fabric, and like her hair was so out and abundant and fun, and like it just was a treat. That whole performance was a treat. I felt like we got to watch something super special.
Yeah. I remember maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I was like, man, there's nothing really announced for New Year's Eve. And then we saw Polyrhythmics at Northwest String Summit
and Big Dirty.
And Big Dirty, and then they announced that, and I was like, hell yeah, that's the ticket right there.
And then we had him on the show, which was awesome. And I got to say, that night, getting to see Benny in that white suit,
that was
awesome. Amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yep, it was a
There's
hell
something
of a
about
New
when
Year's
people
Eve.
wear all white. It's very daring and bold. You
Yes.
know? Yeah,
I think
because
so.
I absolutely agree, because it's all white. And I
could spill something on
immediately
that's what
you can get dirty. Immediately. And you're still making the chance.
I would say that to Cody or so. I think I was saying it to Connor. Is like, I'd like to try that once to see at the end of the night if I kept it clean.
I was pretty clean that night.
Yeah, Mel had all white on. That's right.
Mm-hmm. I was pretty clean.
It's not
Good
easy.
job.
That's not easy. I guarantee.
I mean, I could go look back at the dress and see right now. I
Find
haven't
the
washed
spot
it
or
yet,
something.
but-
within 2 minutes, I would have something all over the front of it for sure. Like it's something.
You'd sit in
Darwin's
something.
eye snot. Or
I just want to say too, Jordan and Jamie, I really appreciate those two so much.
Nobody knows who you mean.
Well, it's new friends that we have, and we saw them at the show, and we didn't see them till maybe like halfway through the show, and then we had an opportunity to dance and hang out with them. And like, I love concerts, but sometimes I just want to be hanging out with the people so we can actually talk and like look in each other's eyes and like have a conversation. And that's kind of like what I feel about Jordan and Jamie. I really want to like get together with them and hang out and talk and chill.
Yeah.
And it was so good to see them at the show and be able to ring in the new year with them too.
That was another like amazing addition that 2022 brought to us was Jordan and Jamie. Jordan is the owner of Fire on the Mountain, and we met through me hitting them up on Instagram to see if they wanted to sponsor No Simple Road. And voila, new friends and No Simple Road family. And it's amazing. What I wanted to ask you guys though is like, what do you hope for No Simple Road for 2023 specifically?
I think you should answer that first, because I think you have more of an answer than Apple and I have off the top of our head.
Well,
what is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
what I mean by that, I guess, is like in 2022, we did a couple of really like big things. One of them being going to Peach, right? That was a huge deal for us. And going into 2023, at the beginning of every year, I kind of like have been thinking about the year past and everything that we did and like, what can we do different? How can we do it better? What do I want to have happen? Because if I don't do stuff, you know what I mean? Nothing's gonna happen if I don't have a vision for what's gonna go down for the year to come. And in thinking about like 2023, now that music is back and we've had a whole year of like spring, summer, fall tour, fish tour, festival season. I've in thinking about it, I want to be more strategic with the stuff that we do, the big stuff. I want to be, I definitely want to be back at Peach. I want to do Peach bigger than we did it last year. I don't want to be in what was it called? The Lodge.
The Lodge.
I want to be on a stage at Peach. I think that we can handle it. I think that we could do something really fun and cool there to like kick off the day. That would be special. I want to do Skull and Roses different than we did it last year. Not that we did anything bad or wrong, or I just want to do it different.
Yeah.
With a different spin, maybe, than we put on it last year. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. What do you think?
Well, firstly, I agree 100%. I think you know that I've been saying that to you, that I want to do something different. And I sometimes when I say that, I don't always know exactly what that means, but it's like I know what we have done. And like you just said, there's nothing wrong with it. We've done I'm really proud of all the work that we've done, all the interviews. I'm just saying, like, once you know how to do something and it's great, you can now up your game a little bit. And what does that look like? I don't know. Sometimes it looks like, creating something that maybe you haven't done before, but still looks very familiar to what you're doing, And I agree with you with Peach. And I was thinking about that today about like, when we did Camp Suds, Sage and the guys, they all hooked us up. Like Dan was getting the couch on there and the coffee table, and we were doing this, that, and the other. And like they knew what they were thinking about, what we do, and they were creating an environment for us there. So it, not only we could feel comfortable, but like the audience could feel like an extended living room of sorts or something like that. And I feel like that would be an awesome thing to do at Peach, like on the couch talks with No Simple Road, before you get on the stage and or before you go to the festival, little things that anything, like even if it is another interview, but like specifically talking about what we're doing, that event, that venue, that day, that time slot. And, in other things like maybe Skull and Roses or any other festival we get invited to or decide to do, like just make our presence known a little bit differently, And again, I'm open to suggestions, but those are kind of like where my thoughts are going.
Yeah, I get what you mean. What do you think, Apple?
Well, I like what you're saying. Like that, like nobody wants. We don't want to do the same thing again and again. Like I agree with what Mel said. Like we all agree. We've talked about we killed it last year with everything we did. But what you want to do is keep progressing and giving like freshness to it, not just out to you listening to us, because that's what keeps life interesting. The spice of life.
Yeah.
The variety. Nobody who wants the same old thing all the time, even if you liked it last month, especially in the world we live in, people want new, exciting, fresh,
absolutely,
changing it all the time. And we've been doing a really good job at that. And I think we've already been talking about this heading into the new year is we've always had intention, but like more intention to what we're doing. And we mentioned that too, but like all the feedback we get from people, how inspirational we are and stuff, that's a lot. That means a lot. And when you hear that, it's like, holy shit.
It's hard to convey it.
So yeah. So we definitely want to continue doing that and upping our game and stuff. And also, one thing we're working towards, have been for 5 going on 6 years, is, we want this to be our full thing, our full-time thing.
Full attention.
Yeah, this being the thing that puts a roof over our head and gas in our tanks, and be able to reach out more and be able to not just have to pick and choose here and there because of timing and things, but being able to be more open to going to more things, we talked about that for years now, of getting to different places in the country, to, making it down south, East Coast, like Electric Forest, we've talked about, Halloween. Like, there's so many things happening. And like Aaron said, 2022, it was the first full year we've gotten back to where there was the winter tours, the spring tour, the summer tour, the fall tours. It has come back, and it has come back so strong, and it's come back changed.
Yeah, it
for
really
the
has
better.
changed.
We've mentioned like this is like a renaissance coming out of what happened. People honed their crafts, wrote more, did more, and have come back with so much force and so much intention. That's what I see us doing also.
Yeah, I got to agree. And it's weird. Like when you own a business, or you are doing anything creative, or doing a podcast, or making music, or you're an actress, or you're a songwriter, or whatever, like you have to continually reinvent yourself to stay, I'm doing air quotes, relevant. You know what I mean?
Fresh.
If you write books, you can't write the same book over and over again. You got to write a new story every time, or continue your series, or whatever the thing is. And like podcasting is no different than that. You have to continually reinvent yourself without moving away from the thing that you started doing in the first place.
Staying authentic, but reinvent yourself.
And that's not
it's
easy.
the world.
That's hard, dude.
One thing I was going to say too is that, and this is something that happened today, I hadn't shared with you guys yet, is one thing I'm proud of us, and I'm seeing it more and more, and this made me think about it today. A bud tender we used to work with, Ozzy, came in, and I haven't seen him in a while, and he's kind of like metalhead, stuff like that and everything. He's really been listening to our show and was saying how proud he was. He's gotten into Billy String. He specifically mentioned when we had Billy Strings on the show and stuff. And like, I love being able to have that influence on people.
What?
To me, it seems easier to do in the world we're in, with genres getting destroyed
Yes.
and mashed together, and people. We live in a world too where people are constantly looking for new things. So we are too. So you reach out of your comfort zone and everything. And him saying that today made me think of that.
That makes me want to cry. I remember Ozzy.
He's awesome, and he's doing really good. But it made me think about that, and I've heard that from other people I've worked with, and like in the cannabis community, and even outside of that, of people that I would kind of do that thing, like judging a book by its cover, think like that they're never going to listen and stuff. And I get more and more feedback of people that this isn't necessarily their scene, but scenes are getting mashed together now.
Yeah, they are.
And people are starting to hang out, and from different, what we would think of kind of walks of life and interests, because everybody's interests are getting so broad. What we want, we crave new things, and new music, and new people, and different people, like pigeonholing yourself into those groups. Like I'm 53. I'm used to growing up in that age, like starting back in school. Like there was the stoners, the jocks, the this and that. It's like there is not really that anymore. There's just people.
We as humans, we tend to do that. Pigeonhole ourselves into, well, this is how I am. I'm lazy. I'm a workaholic. I'm a, whatever. We'll say that. But we have to remember that other magic part of ourselves that surprises us, picks up a new hobby that we never thought we would like, or dates somebody new that they never thought that they would date, but they fall in love. Or we have to stay open to the magic of life.
I mean, look at look at bands like Fish, right? What kind of music is Fish?
Good.
You know,
Yeah,
it's funk, it's jazz, it's rock, it's prog,
it's like everything.
it's classical, it's produced, it's not, it's jammy, it's
maybe that word or that question is irrelevant these days. Maybe not years ago, but like when you say what kind of music.
Well, and what does Fish do too? They keep it relevant and new. Why? That's why everybody keeps going to the shows and will go to a whole tour, because you want to see what the hell they're going to do next.
At every show.
Yeah, because it's going to be different. It's going to change. It's going to be exciting. You know,
the band that really like comes to mind for that is Goose to me right now. There's something really magical going on with them. They are crossing certain lines that haven't been crossed before, and mashing certain stuff up that just never was done. And it's turning into something really incredibly beautiful, man. Like, those guys have figured out something special.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, and I don't think that
you want to become like Goose.
No, I want to become like us. I think that it's being true to the things that you love and that you find interesting and that get you off and that excite you, and taking those things and putting them together and putting them out into the world. Yeah. That's what it's about.
Well, again, that to me, that speaks toward the climate of this world. If we've learned anything, and we don't get political on here, but the political environment over the last 6, 8, 10, you go as far as you want to
go as far.
We as a society, most of us are sick of eating bullshit, and we want truth and we want honesty and everything. And that's kind of what we have seen in this scene, and it's growing and it's pulling other stuff into it and melding with it. You know, we want, you can't fake being an awesome band. You can't get up there and fucking fake it. People will see through that shit.
I don't know if you can.
I
mean, people have faked it. That is true.
Milli.
Yeah. They weren't the only ones. They're just the ones that got caught big time.
There's been a lot,
but
you know what I mean. This world, we're fed up with bullshit, and we're
even from ourselves.
We're more savvy now with what goes on in this world and what is being fed to us and stuff, and what's being fed to us here, what we do, and the people we love and the bands we love is good food.
Yeah.
it's not eating bullshit.
That's absolutely true. And you know, it's funny, we were driving with Simon the other day, and we were listening to the New Year's run from Fish, and he was like, I'm sorry, this just isn't good. Like, everybody's just playing a lot. It's not good.
And he was right. Like,
but it was
in 100%, he was absolutely right. To an ear that's never heard what those sounds like, how they got there, it sounds like shit. It just sounds like loud trumpet and this and that, like what? But when you hear that it's in the freaking middle of like a tweezer or something, you're like, oh my god.
And we've all said that if you give people that don't know Fish the wrong Fish song, they're gonna be like, I'm never listening to this again. You got to be on the inside to get some of it.
Yeah, it's just funny. I think about that, and like when you're like, well, the music that we listen to is good food, and it's like, well, not everybody would agree with that, my friend. Like, it's just like some people don't like Indian food, some people don't like Mexican food, some people don't like ham and cheese sandwiches.
Well, and maybe sometimes people it's not that they don't like it, but they can't eat jalapenos. You know what I'm saying?
Me being one of them.
That's a real thing. Like, sometimes people are like, I like a lot of music that I don't listen to because I don't like maybe the lyrics, but I like the beat, or maybe I can't hear certain like bass over and over, but I like that music, but I can't take it. I can't tolerate it for some reason.
I just know that, like, it, like you said, Apple, we're in a very weird time in space-time continuum. We're in a weird timeline right now. Like, there's so much available to everybody out there. There's so much choice, and everything is changing so fast. Social media makes everything move so fast, and everything is a 2 or 15-second soundbite in a reel. You know what I mean?
The attention span has shortened.
Yeah,
So
we've gone from
weird.
30 seconds to 15 seconds now.
Think about, before you go on, think about what that means to an hour show like this or more, where it's not 30-second soundbite. We're not
up.
doing like quick little like we're not going fast, and people are listening to this.
Hopefully. I hope they are.
I mean, we have some numbers, maybe not everybody, but if you made it this far, thank you.
Yeah. So da 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 da.
Bye.
No, I just want to be mindful as we move into 2023 of like what our intention is. That's why I bring it up. That's the only reason I brought it up.
Well, I just, definitely one of my intentions is that every time I get on the mic that I mean it. I don't want to get on here with an attitude or, not appreciative. And every time I get on the mic, I want to bless whoever is listening, like whether it's the sound of my voice or something I said that like struck you, or just knowing that I'm putting good energy out to the people that are listening with their ears. I really am grateful that anyone allows me to talk as much in their ear as y'all do. I really am,
Totally.
like the fact that, sometimes you have something to say and somebody's listening, that means a lot. That really means a lot. Like, I had a guy tell me almost his entire 50-year life history in a 2-minute transaction because he needed somebody to tell. Do you know, like when you get scared at the doctor and you have nobody to tell?
Yeah.
It was like that.
That's every time I go to the doctor.
but like it was just like, so the fact that our listeners are listening, 1, they're writing in, 2, they're 5-starring it, they're Patreoning it, they're meeting us at shows. Like, I'm just grateful. And I want y'all to know that when you're listening to me, that I definitely am, sending it back. I love y'all for real.
Yeah, I think that goes for all 3 of us, man. And
absolutely,
as we go into 2023, this is our, inaugural 2023 No Simple Road volume, 12. And like we were saying at the beginning, we're doing this in collaboration with the Edible Beat, and things are changing. So we are changing our intention for the year and doing things a little different. And I hope you're all here for it, man, because we're working hard.
We are working hard.
And I think that the one thing you can continue to expect from us, no matter what, is what we get so many comments on. Like Mel just said, like coming to the mic, being into it, and being appreciative, and being, to me, the 2 words, open and honest. We get that so much. Back to a moment to 2022. I share a lot. We share a lot, our health, everything like that. I'm doing good. I went to the doctor a lot through 2022, things I'd been putting off, taking care of myself, which has influenced some listeners out there. And that means the world to me, of being open and honest about stuff.
Yeah, it would be nice to be healthy so we can keep doing this.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So let's do that.
And here you go. Here we go
Stay
into
healthy.
2023, and can't wait to meet more of you.
Stay healthy and be lucky about it.
Be lucky.
Yeah, we forgot to tell you guys.
That's our new mantra.
Our 2023 mantra is be lucky about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you can figure out what that means, then you're lucky about it too. So
I think a lot of you will get it.
we'll be back next week with more stuff and things. Remember, until then, take care of each other. Smile at a stranger, and safety third. Remember to hydrate. Don't overheat. Overheating's bad. When your car overheats, steam comes out of it, and then it pulls over on the side of the road, and that sucks. You don't want that.
You don't want to
happen.
wait till steam comes out of you.
No, do not wait till steam comes out of you.
And
You
10 jumping jacks feels good during the sunrise.
Not if you're overheating, though. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Like twist and turn the mission, turn the mission, turn the wish to think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A = A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
Yes, hello out there, everyone. I'm Hal Schwartz.
And I'm Flynn McLean. Together we host None But the Brave, a podcast dedicated to the music and career of Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce and E Street Band are on tour right now for the first time in 6 years, and we're taking a detailed look at what's happening on stage in our bi-weekly episodes.
We've also been recently joined by some very exciting guests, including rock journalist Warren Zanes and Stephen Hayden, Backstreet's magazine founder Charles Cross, and Barstool's Kirk Minahan.
If you're a diehard Springsteen fan, this is the show for you.
So please subscribe to None But the Brave on your favorite podcasting platform, and we hope to see you further on up the road.
Thank you so much. We'll be seeing you.